Today we come to the ninth plague, and that's verses 21 to the end of the chapter. Of course, the third, and the sixth and the ninth plague, there's no warning. It often comes, I think they all come after Pharaoh hardens his heart, as we read here in verse 20. Verse 21, then the Lord said to Moses, stretch out your hand toward heaven, that there may be darkness over the land of Egypt, darkness which may even be felt. Moses stretched out his hand toward heaven, and there was thick darkness in all the land of Egypt for 3 days. Verse 23, they did not see one another, nor did anyone rise from their place for 3 days. All the children of Israel had light in their dwellings. And so we see a clear distinction between light and darkness. But imagine having 3 days of darkness which you can feel. That's what it says, verse 21. And also that they did not see anyone or get up from any place for 3 days. You would have thought that that would had caused Pharaoh to repent and acknowledge his rebellion, which he only says in word or in the other passages we read through Exodus. But what we see is those 3 days of darkness lead to further rebellion from Pharaoh. And this no doubt had a huge impact, as did all the other plagues, upon the Egyptians. Then as we continue down the passage, then Pharaoh called to Moses and said, go, serve the Lord, only let your flocks and your herds be kept back. Let your little ones go with you. But Moses said, now it's Moses' turn not to compromise. You must also give us sacrifice and burnt offerings that we may sacrifice to the Lord your God. Our livestock also shall go with us. Not a hoof shall be left behind. We must take some of them to serve our God. And even we do not know with what we must serve the Lord until we arrive there. So basically Moses is saying, we're all going. We all need to go because we're going there to serve and to worship God. Verse 27, but the Lord hardened Pharaoh's heart, and he would not let them go. And Pharaoh said, get away from me, take heed to yourself, and see my face no more. For in the day you see my face, you shall die. And Moses said, you have spoken well, I will never see your face again. And we notice a couple of things. First of all, the courage of Moses compared to his initial protests. And that is a reflection of the greater faith of Moses in God. Verse 25, you must also give us sacrifice and burnt offerings. Our livestock will go with us. We see the courage of Moses. We maybe just need, as Christians, a bit more courage to open our mouths and share the gospel and to tell people that Jesus Christ loved them and died on the cross, and leave God to work the rest into people's lives. And then the other thing that struck me about this passage was Pharaoh gives his threat, and it was a real threat, get away from me. And I think, if I remember correctly, chapter 11 comes somewhere between verse 28, verse 27 and 28, so that this chapter, which comes chapter 11, really the conversation happens between Pharaoh saying, in the day you'll see my face, you will die, because that actually was true. But of course, if you just read Exodus, read on, you'll see their further confrontation or the further conversation in chapter 11. But that conversation, I think, took place before the end of chapter 10. And so chapter 10 really is, the last few verses, really a summary of the heart of Pharaoh. And God still has to be merciful and gracious with hard hearts. Pharaoh hardened his heart first of all, and then the Lord hardened his heart. And it says in Psalms, Hebrews, do not harden your heart in the day of provocation. what God really wants is a response in our hearts. Moses at the beginning didn't really want to go and protested, and no doubt we would have been the same. But we do see a change in the life of Moses, and his faith has grown. But Pharaoh never changed. His heart was hard from the beginning, and actually by the end it was worse, and God could do nothing but judge the firstborn sons. Thank you for listening.